Let's give us a round of applause for being here on a Wednesday. Midweek Madness, I call it. Let's give a little round of applause. Yeah, there it is. That's good. That's good. What's up, Vin?
I just want to say thank you to everyone who's here. I'm Vinny Fiorenza with Who Is with Vinny Fiorenza.
Let's give it up for that. Give it up for Vinny.
So fortunately, we've been I started this YouTube channel like a little over 90 days ago. This morning we released our 15th episode. We're very happy, and hopefully I get to interview all of you in some way, shape, or form. I said it last time. I'll say it again. I mean it. And let's get this thing started. We're happy to be at Breakroom.
Breakroom 86 is where we're at. And my friends, I am your co-host, Freddy Giorlando. I appreciate y'all for coming out. Thank you, guys. I'm a producer and actor in this crazy business we call show. I also host industry parties, industry events at this venue right here every Wednesday with Vinny, my sidekick, and with our DJ MC, our partner, Q Nice. Also, let's give it up for Q Nice. He'll be MCing and DJing and creating the vibes later on. So every Wednesday, you can tap in with us here at Breakroom 86 with me and Vinny and Q Nice. We are looking to curate and dial in one live podcast show a month with industry guests to provide insights for to everyone that comes out and for everyone that's viewing right now at home. We look forward to throwing a party afterwards for all of the podcast shows that we throw. There will be a party afterwards for everyone to connect, vibe out, and let's get right into it. So, we're going to introduce our guests right now. We have two lovely guests with us. Noel Braham, Emmy-nominated filmmaker, couldn't make it tonight due to personal reasons. But we do have two lovely guests with us that we're very excited to introduce. So let's get to it, shall we? Alrighty. Our first guest, he has been featured in the Huffington Post as the top networker in Hollywood, producer of Hollywood events and Hollywood mentorship contests that have helped in garnering filmmakers and storytellers get in direct contact and relationship build with industry pros. He is a blossoming screenwriter, producer who's committed to creative and conscious, bridging the gap between entertainment and humanitarian efforts. My friends, please give a warm welcome to Erman Baradi in the building. What up, brother? Let's bump it up. Alrighty.
What's up? Hi.
How you doing?
I'm great. I can't see any faces though, but this is amazing. Yeah.
Bright lights.
They see yours.
They see me. That's what's amazing. That's what's important, right?
Heck yeah, man. Thank you for being with us and joining us, brother. We appreciate it.
I'm so excited. Thank you.
Heck yeah. Alrighty, my friends. Our second guest in the building with us. She is a SAG-AFTRA actress, originally from Long Island, New York. Since moving to LA, she has appeared in various TV shows as well as commercials on networks like ABC, NBC, and Fox through her own networking. Passionate about the business side of the industry, she also acts as a career consultant and acting coach. My friends, please give a warm, extraordinary welcome to Jennifer Lauren DiBella. What's up, Jennifer?
How we doing? No one clapped for Long Island. I clocked that.
Let's crowd. Anyone from the East Coast in here? Anyone from East Coasters? All right, we've got some East Coasters.
Appreciate you all being here, man.
Absolutely.
Let's get this thing started. I feel like that's my line. I've been saying that almost all the episodes, like a doofus. But let's go, Jen. Give this audience a little bit like a background about yourself and what they'll follow.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, it started when I was 6. I'm just kidding. We're gonna speed that up a little bit. Okay. So I got to LA about 10 years ago. It'll be 10 years next month, and I came with a plan. I knew that no one knew me and no one would care except for me. So I had to hand out my headshot to as many people as I could. I had to perform to as many people as I could too, and hopefully find some believers. So luckily for me, very quickly, I found a believer, love her, and I was cast on Grey's Anatomy my second week here in LA, which was crazy.
Let's give it up for that, please.
Thank you. Again, it was 10 years ago, but at the same time, it was a recurring role, and I was very new. I didn't have guidance. I didn't have an agent or a manager, and I went to lots of meetings, and everyone was like, oh, you're going to do this. It's not time yet. It's not time yet. Come back when, blah, blah, blah. But I gave myself the green light because why not? We can do that. So just like the mover and shaker over here, I decided to take things into my own hands. And 2020, I decided to become an advocate for actors and become a career consultant. And it's really my passion. It's my full-time gig. And I care about them so much. And their wins are my wins. And I'm going to stop talking now. Come on.
Let's give it up for Jennifer, though. Come on.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
I was not on Grey's Anatomy, unfortunately. So I don't know how do I follow up with that. No, I interned in Hollywood in 2012, so 10 plus years ago. That was my first foray into the industry. My story is I went home after 2 months of the internship, back to Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I had to figure out how to stay in touch and stay on the radar of the industry. So I created a Twitter name, Erman LA, so people thought I lived in LA. And so people would hire me to work their conferences. So I would be hired to work different screenwriting and acting festivals and conferences to gather up industry names. And so I utilized that skill over time to create my own events. So for the first few years, I started doing my own events, kind of like networking events, just like this. We started doing like speed networking events for actors and filmmakers and musicians to connect with executives and that kind of stuff. In 2016, I was named top networker in Hollywood by the Huffington Post. And I kind of
Let's give it up for that.
Yeah.
Can we give it up for that? That's
Thank you.
Let's go.
Yeah. And that's where I peaked. No, I'm kidding. 7 years later, I don't know what I'm doing. No, but I write, produce a little bit of acting, but not so much as she does. But along the way, I've helped other people get discovered. From June of last year to June of this year, my events have gotten 25 actors signed to management and talent agencies.
That's great.
Beautiful.
Let's give it up for that.
So, something that these two have in common is obviously that they're master networkers. So, tell us a little bit about what you guys think of, I guess, networking in general, how you use it as a resource, and how you would think people around us could use it as well, especially in the entertainment space.
I'll take it. Well, first, I think that networking sometimes can have a negative connotation, which I was surprised when I first heard that. And I think it's because people can attach this sneaky sleaziness to it, where it's unwanted, it's unsolicited. And I would really challenge that, because when you are having a really organic conversation and a connection with someone, and you're a fan of their work, or you're a fan of the worlds they cast, or their roster, if they're an agent or a manager, and you're authentic about it, people can smell both things. I think people can smell desperation and pushiness. And then I think if there is an authentic, organic, hey, I'm really a fan, and I'm curious, and I'm hungry, and this is what I'm working on right now, and is there any advice that you have, or your thoughts? And I feel like people really respond to that much more than we think. So if you can't help them right now, you might be able to later on. And I mentioned the casting director who had cast me in my first job, and now because I have clients and I know she's a master at teaching, a Power Hour co-star, masterclass, let's say, I send my clients to her now. I go, you have to learn from her, because I still reference what she taught me 10 years ago, and it still helps me book work. So I wasn't in a position at the time to help, and hey, I'm someone who's very grateful for anything, a chance, and I know that I hold on to that and I don't forget it. So you never know when you're going to be in a position where you can also help someone later on. So networking really does help at all times, and it doesn't have to be sleazy and annoying.
Yeah.
That's great.
Beautiful.
That's great.
Erman?
Yeah, I know the word networking is kind of scary. A lot of people don't like the word networking, but it is important. And I know, like, the way that I look at it, networking is like dating. So you got to keep showing up. You may not meet the right person the first time you go out. You know, like a lot of people I know will show up to one event, meet nobody, and they're like, "Oh, I'm done with it." And then I'm like, "That's it? You're gonna give up that easily?" a lot of the people that I've helped have, not to sell my own stuff, but a lot of people who've
Sell it.
Please.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
what
you're
you're here
here
for.
for.
Absolutely.
they've shown up multiple times. They showed up. I have someone here. I have some supporters here who've come to like literally every single event and have gotten something out of it. So, but yeah, I mean, kudos to just showing up. That's the first step. Some people don't show up. Some people sign up, they don't show up. But the first step to networking is just showing up, being present, having the face-to-face. Some people show up and just stand in the corner, which is funny. But at least you showed up. That's commitment to at least getting in the car and coming to something in LA, right? But yeah, my piece of advice is just to keep showing up. Not just show up one time, not just show up twice. Sometimes it takes more than a few years. It's just different for everybody, you know? I had one person who got signed after attending one event of mine, but then like someone else took 5 years. So it's different for everybody, but just keep that consistency in showing up.
I think networking is also different for everyone too. It looks different for each actor, each creative, and some of those folks who stay on the sidelines at first, maybe it takes them a couple events. And even if them going up to someone and saying, "Hi, who are you with? You know, how are you here?" If that is their one step that they achieve that day, cool. You're gonna do even better the next time. And you know, networking, staying in front of people are also follow-ups. If you have a meeting, please send a thank you. Like just be a nice human and say, "Hey, thank you for your time." Or if you're sending an email, "Thank you for reviewing these materials." You know, when you get a chance, whatever. I think that goes a long way.
I have a horror story, if you guys don't.
Yeah, go
if
for
you guys
it.
don't mind.
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
So this is like back in 2015, one of my very, very first big LA events. Not to say any names, but one of my volunteers who checked in people at the door. One of the guest speakers for that day was one of the casting directors of like the Star Wars franchise. And so she went up to my volunteer, was like, "Hey, here's my card, please reach out to me." I followed up with my friend on that Monday. "Hey, did you reach out to her?" "No, I'll do it next week. I got busy." A week later, I hit her up again. "Hey, did you contact her?" No, I forgot. That was the last time I spoke to her.
Oh my God.
I was like, "No, I'm not gonna. You're not my audience. You're not my circle. You know." Yeah. So definitely follow up is important because you never know if you get that opportunity again. Like I haven't seen her in Star Wars, so she definitely didn't. She definitely didn't make that call.
You're like, "I'm paying attention."
People are sensitive, you know, like that, and people are, you know, a little aggressive out here. You gotta be careful what you say, who you say it to, when you say it, and how you say it. You know, people don't forget, and you know, make the best of the moment you get with people like an Erman or a Jen for that matter. They work with actors every day, and speaking of that, would you guys give a little bit of a what is it like working with actors right now in this particular time? You guys are both different angles of the industry. Like there's some crazy stuff going on with the strike right now. What is it like working with the actors day to day with you guys?
That's a really good question. You know, morale is definitely down, and I understand that, but I feel like it's my job every day to show up and go, "Guys, it's temporary. We got this. What are we doing in the meantime?" And so people are refreshing their materials, number one. I think that I've seen a lot of people take the opportunity to go to new classes. Let's say you're really on camera and you are interested in voiceover, or maybe you've never tried an improv class in your life. A lot of people are doing that as well. And I will say that the strike does not affect commercial contracts. So I'm happy to report that with my clients in May, I've had at least 5 signed commercially. In
Beautiful.
May alone.
Love
So
that.
since the strike started May 2nd, and that's a mix of non-union and union. So those folks are still taking meetings, which is great. I think that there are definitely a handful of reps who are revisiting their rosters right now and reassessing and open to meetings. And then I completely understand the ones who are also, "We're not changing things up right now. Let's see where things go, and feel free to submit in the next couple of months." But more importantly, be proactive. What can you be doing right now? And stay in touch with your team. We all love doing this. So your team, your agents and managers too, are bummed. They're bummed. They want to be helping too, and they want to be working. So the fight is definitely a very worthy cause. So we support it, and we'll just have to stay proactive until we see the other side of this, which is going to be a boom, I think.
Yeah, it definitely is about what's going on in the meantime. Someone asked me when I first started, someone asked me, "Are you still doing events during this period of time?" I'm like, yeah. And we're gonna do more events. We're doing more. Yes, because we just had one like last Saturday with a rep from Eris Talent, and she, if I'm not mistaken, someone told me like yesterday that they ended up signing with them. Like our event was Saturday, and they signed yesterday, so that was cool. So it is like a lot of what's going on in the meantime. Keep on, like you said, revisiting your roster, the agents and managers are that I know personally. So yeah, we're still hustling. We're still doing the events.
And we're here too. It's relationship building.
We're here now.
I had never met Erman, but I've been following him on social media for a long time, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. So it's one of those
and
things.
And I finally
too.
followed back. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I'm waiting on my notifications there. Where's the follow? But in all seriousness, building your relationships right now too. It's a really great time, and yeah.
Oh, nice. Back
I'm
to
done.
me.
I'm done.
Go for it, Fred.
I got a question for both of y'all. Speaking of actors or just industry folks in general, filmmakers, writers, producers, whatever the case, that work with y'all, what are common pain points that you see with your actors or industry folk, and what advice do you usually give them? What's a commonality between folks that come out to the networking events that they express their frustrations, and then as well as the actors that you work with, what's a common pain point that you see kind of across the board? It's consistent, and what advice do you give to them to get over that hump and change the course for the positive? Either or wanna, but both. I definitely want to hear both of y'all because you're very experienced in networking and consulting.
So I do a lot of events where there's guest speakers, and a lot of times filmmakers or actors would be like, why do I need to come? They're not there to look for talent. They're there just to speak, and it's not true. The people that come to these events are actively trying to build relationships, which is something that people don't. I guess some people just don't see.
Gotta always be on.
Yeah. You gotta always be on, right?
Always.
Yeah. So that's like a common kind of not just a pain point, but like a mistake people make, not showing up because they don't think it's worth their time, because they don't think they're there to meet people. They're there to just like to speak on a panel.
More of a short-sighted approach as opposed to let me show up, let me see what relationship that may happen, right? For the long game, because this
think about the long game. Definitely think about the long game.
It is a long haul. This marathon of what we got into and what we're in right now. But yeah, Jennifer.
I would say one of the biggest pain points that I see across the board is people go, and I definitely have fallen into this in the last 10 years. You get so caught up in the networking and business side of it that you forget what you actually do. And people all of a sudden go, well, wait, why am I sending a cover letter? Why am I introducing myself? What do I do? And they feel like this emptiness. And I go, are you in class? Are you doing your thing? Are you acting? Get acting again. And then they'll go back to a class, we find the right fit for them, and the next session I have, they're like glowing. And they're like, oh, I had fun in class. I said, right, because you're doing what you love. Remember why you're doing this in the first place? I think that that's a big one. And then, my goodness, guys, we know that we're gonna get rejected, right? We get rejected so much. I got rejected twice last week on Friday.
Give me the names.
Let's go.
I'm like, throw them under the bus. Let's go. Call them out. But, you finally sign with someone. Now you're getting auditions. Yay, right? I have people go, I didn't get that job. I'm like, yes, okay, I understand that it hurts, but we got to build that thick skin. We have to know that we have to go for quite a lot of projects before lightning strikes, and we get it. And book the room, so to speak. We're not really going in right now, but book the office. If you are gaining believers, they will push for you, they will call you back in, and they're rooting for you. I think that that is a big misconception. Casting is rooting for you. A lot of the people in here know that, and they are on your side. So stop people pleasing and just do your thing, but give them solid work. Work on your craft. Be a solid option, and you'll get called in again. And then you'll get the job. Don't worry about it. Give it time.
Definitely win the room. Try to win the room, not the role, is what I try to tell people.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Steal that for sure.
Yeah. I've used that. Yeah. So when I get rejected, like I'm a writer, so when I get rejected for certain things, I know that like they tell me, hey, like we like you though, even if they pass on my project.
Mm-hmm. I mean that's a win in itself. That they're not going to forget you. I want to turn it over to maybe the audience. I don't know if the audience might have a question with all these amazing professionals
Feel free
up
to
here.
ask my friends. We're here right now for a moment, for a reason.
Someone might have something really interesting.
Wait, can I actually ask a question?
Go for gold.
Because you folks are on a different side of things too. Vinny, I wanted to ask you the same thing as a manager right now in this time during the strike. How has it been for you? And then Freddie, I know you do a lot of your own projects. Are you still moving and shaking? I say that all the time. It's so annoying. I don't know where I got that from. I think my mother.
You are moving and
am
shaking.
becoming my mother.
Yeah.
So I turn that over to you, and I wanted to know if things have changed.
Yeah, I mean, things have significantly slowed down, and with that, going back to the drawing board in regards to, building up everyone's assets, doing what we can while we can, get into class, make your connections, show up to these events. And basically the same thing everyone said, and I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, build everything you can while you can. Use this time honestly. Like, if you could go to where people are picketing, meet the writers. These are the people who are eventually getting you on screen. So if you can meet these people and like make that happen for yourself, go for gold.
And the stories that they tell are also awesome.
That's true. What about you, Freddie?
For myself, so I look at this as the off season. Even though the auditions aren't coming in, like I mentioned, I'm an actor and a producer, and I have a production company with my buddies, and we all create content. We're producers, actors first, that producers, so we could act in our own stuff. So right now, we're just kind of, ideating on what we want to shoot moving forward, coming out of the strike. At the same time, like I said, we're individually actors. So I was with Mr. Joey Gerard over here, getting my materials together. He manages me now. So anything and everything that I can be doing, getting my materials together as an actor, taking workshops, because those are going on Zoom and in person. Industry events, I throw them, but I also attend them. I really want to meet as many people as I can in the industry because I am in it for the long term. I'm very long-sighted. I have, I have vision, and 5-10 years from now, I'm going to be in this industry and hopefully could help more people along the way. So there's always something to be done, regardless of what's coming in. You have to create that you have to create that momentum and that productivity for yourself, moving forward. So that's pretty much it. There's always some stuff to get after.
And this time is temporary.
So just get everything in a row, prep. That's what I've been doing. Getting dialed in, taking these classes, voice, accent reduction, standard American, anything that I had on my goals board, like the A and the B goals, I'm touching on now. So when everything opens up and auditions come in, I'm ready. They need me to throw on a Southern, I can call Claire Korf at Korf Studios. That's a plug.
Shout out.
That's a plug. But yeah, just staying ready.
Love it.
Speaking of plugs, do you guys want to talk about some of the things that you do have going on and some of the things you got going on moving forward? And just, let's hear it. I know you guys are doubling down on what you've been doing. Let's, tell the audience.
Okay. So, I like storytelling in general. So even though I'm a screenwriter, I put out a poetry book the other week on Amazon. So check that out.
Congrats, man.
Thank you so much.
Let's give a round of applause on that. It's great.
And then we're expanding our event series. So we already do LA and New York this upcoming summer. In July and August, we're venturing into Toronto, London, Melbourne, and Paris for the first time. Yeah. Oh, that's dope. I won't be there at all of them. But I have team members across the globe who are gonna handle these networking events.
That's great. That's great.
Oh yeah, Ermantourage. Check out Ermantourage. That's my brand.
That's a plug.
We'll plug everything in the links and whatnot. Everyone's gonna get hooked up and loved.
Well, I'll talk business side of things as usual. Now that I am full-time as an acting career consultant, I am putting a lot of webinars together right now. I'm getting a little
fancy word.
Creative. Ooh, webinar. I'm still on Zoom. I know you guys are in person, but I'm still on Zoom. And I'm starting to collaborate with some acting studios too, which I'm really excited about. So I will definitely be keeping everyone posted on my Instagram, JD Acting Consultant, and Personally, I'm working on revamping my materials. I just took new headshots, and I want to get some comedy things in order, so I'm doing that as well. And I'm actually I made a note for myself, September 10th, we'll see where all the things are, but I have another set of submissions in a different state that I want to be represented in. So we're working the plans. So yeah, I'm doing that. And then personally, I just became an aunt to 2 boys, 2 nephews.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Love them so much. So I'm going to be going to New York for a little bit to see them. Still working, of course, but thankfully this will allow me to do that. And then I'm going to Australia and New Zealand with my boyfriend in August for a fun trip. Is someone playing Pac-Man?
Yeah, there is a Pac-Man machine in the back left corner. There are
Volume
arcade
up.
games for free.
bar.
This is
That's a
the
plug.
lounge.
That's a plug, Pac-Man.
Plug.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, go for it.
No, I just want to say, how can we follow you guys on social media, Instagram handles, all that? Plug it up.
I try to keep it simple. Erman Baradi, ERMAN BARADI.
So mine is JD, Jennifer DiBella, acting consultant on Instagram, @JD acting consultant, and DM me, email me. I'm not like scary. I might be a little weird, but say hi. Let's chat.
Yeah, DM me too. Just don't be like, hey, can you connect me to an agent? Like,
About that Star Wars person.
That's how we connected. Literally, I saw everything her mom was doing. I was like, I want to be that guy. And I was like,
What if I go to Paris?
Yeah, so here we are, a couple, I don't know how long ago we started chatting.
like 3 months?
No, I think way less. But,
This became last week.
But I was very fortunate to meet Erman through Instagram. I saw all the things that he was up to, and I was like, dude, I'm throwing events. Like, I want you in. And here we are. Fortunately enough, we'll have this conversation recorded so everyone else could get the juice from him. Thank you for coming out, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, I just want to thank Erman, definitely, and Jennifer. Just to speak my piece, I've been seeing you move and shake, both of you, but Erman in town, just throwing consistent networking events for actors, so that it takes a certain individual to be there and put themselves out there to create a space to create value for other people. So thank you for that, and thank you for being a part of tonight. Appreciate it.
Of course,
and
thank
Jennifer,
you for having
thank you for just being a great human being, a talented actress, and then also giving back to other fellow actors to make their lives a bit easier as they kind of go on this rocky road of this entertainment journey that
It's
we
a
have.
rocky road, guys, but it'll be okay. I feel bad because I cut you guys off about asking the audience for questions.
Do we have any audience questions before we? Yes.
So, talking a lot about networking, what about media creation? The idea that you should always be working on something, whether you're providing something for YouTube or a pilot for a series like the guys who did Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They were living together and they shot a pilot for the show.
You pointed.
This is your night, guys.
You want?
I just saw, I think TIFF, there was an interview with Spielberg, and someone was interviewing saying, oh, what can people be doing? And he said, that device in your hand, you can make a movie with that device. And it is really true. If you're moved to create, especially right now, and I think the short, I don't want to speak on that because I don't want to be wrong about it. I'm not as educated as I wanted to be about it. But there's certain SAG agreements that you can still work if there was going to be some type of strike. But fact check that. But if you are moved to write and, networking laterally, I think is what you're also speaking to. You have up and coming creatives. We all are there. So instead of just finding the people that we tend to put on pedestals, look next to you. And this is not an original thought. I think Issa Rae was talking about this recently. But it's one of those things where you're in class with people. So if you have a like-minded actor that you're close to or you admire their work and you feel like it's a similar lane as yours, hit them up. Say, hey, do you want to start working on something? We really do have a lot more at our disposal that we can take advantage of.
Can't doubt that. Well, I wanted to mention something about that. Thank you for the question, Charles. I was very happy you asked that. So speaking of content creation, I took my chance at content creation and created this show. Without this show, I wouldn't have had this opportunity to be at Breakroom 86 with all these very talented people. And that's pretty much it. I took a chance making the show, and lo and behold, I've been getting reached out to by some really unique people that I would never have expected to. So, guys, my advice to that thing is take a chance, be weird, do something you never done before, and have fun doing it. But yeah, with that, I think we're gonna close out. I'm really grateful for you all coming here, and you want to close us out, Freddie? Let's do this.
Close this out, guys. Play the music. No, I'm just kidding. In all sincerity, thank y'all for coming out and being a part of this live podcast show. I know we're gonna plug your YouTube channel. You're gonna do it though, bud.
Okay,
You're gonna do the like and subscribe.
Okay, bud.
No, but I just wanted to thank y'all for coming out and being a part of this. It means a lot to me and Vinny, and of course our guests being here. Like we mentioned, we just want to provide value and a space for people to come together and have a communal experience in this town once a month to just vibe out and also gain some insight from whoever we bring up here, meet each other and connect. I really do believe, like Jennifer mentioned, networking across the board, like within arm's reach from each other. I believe in building together. There's strength in numbers, and it takes a village. And if you want, you could subscribe to Vinny. Go ahead.
All right, yeah, he's been coaching me on this. We trained like for hours.
This is your show.
So if you guys feel so gracious enough, open up your phones and subscribe to Who Is with Vinny Fiorenza. I feel like it'd be a really cool thing, so we could continue doing this. If I can't prove to this bar that people are following the page, they won't let me continue. I'm kidding. But let's go. I'd love to have you guys as well, my early subscribers. Let's make it happen. Thank you all. This was amazing.
Thank you all again to Breakroom 86. Be sure to tip your bartenders. Be gracious. Thank you again to the venue for having us. We really appreciate you guys. Breakroom 86, Wednesday nights. Jennifer DiBella, Erman Baradi, Vinny Fiorenza,
Mr. Freddy Giorlando.
And we will see you on the next one. Thank y'all. God bless y'all.